The glass didn't break when I set it down. I was careful. Too careful. She laughed loud and shrill. The kind of laughter meant to humiliate, to draw blood without leaving a mark. You clean other people's houses? She said, flashing her teeth in that rehearsed way. My ex just bought a vacation home in Malibu. The group around her, drunk on cheap Prosecco and inflated self-worth, howled like hyenas, their laughter jagged and hollow. I smiled. Said nothing. Silence can be heavier than cruelty, and that night, mine did the talking. I leaned in, kissed her cheeks softly in front of them all. She flinched. Maybe she expected a scene. Maybe she hoped for one. Rage would have been easier for her to digest. But I didn't give her that. I just gathered my keys, my wallet, and what little dignity she hadn't tried to strip away, and walked out the door. By the time the Uber reached the end of her street, she was already a memory. An hour later, my phone exploded with missed calls, 45 of them. No voicemails, no texts. Just that eerie kind of panic. She once told me she never felt around anyone but me. You make me feel safe, she used to whisper. Asterisk, you're my rock. Asterisk. We met 6 years ago at a charity gala neither of us had any business attending. She pretended to care about the stray dogs they were raising funds for. I pretended to have enough money to matter. We clicked over lukewarm wine and shared imposter syndrome. She used to love that I worked with my hands. Real men do real work, she'd proudly tell her friends. Back then, cleaning houses was noble. It made me grounded, solid. Now it was just ordinary, a job unworthy of her curated life. But it wasn't the job that changed. I changed. I grew sharper, smarter. And she simply didn't. The first warning came quiet. She stopped locking her phone. Not out of trust, but arrogance. A belief I was too simple to notice. Then came the perfume, subtle but foreign. I knew her sense the way a painter knows his palette. This wasn't hers. It clung to her like guilt. And then lipstick. Not on her. On me. A faint smudge on my shirt collar after a hug she gave too casually too late. I waited. Patient. Focused. The truth arrived on a Tuesday, glowing bright on her phone screen as she showered. I wasn't snooping. It was just there. Open. Waiting. Last night was heaven. The message read. Asterisk, he doesn't deserve you. Asterisk, her ex. The Malibu one. I didn't feel heartbreak. I felt clarity. You don't lash out at a snake while it coils. You wait for its mouth to open. Step 1. I said yes. Yes to every side job, every last-minute cleaning gig. Yes to the silence at night while she came home later and later. I used the time to build. Quietly. I mapped her life, bank accounts, passwords, flaws. I moved our money into a new account. One she'd unknowingly signed over power of attorney for. Back when she still believed I'd never betray her. She should have read the fine print. Step 2. I bought a house in Malibu. His house, or at least the one she thought was his. I bought it in cash through a shell company. All those late hours weren't revenge, they were escape plans. She bragged about his property like a trophy. Little did she know I'd already changed the locks. Step 3. Her birthday. I sent the invites. Her closest friends. Cocktail dresses. Polished smiles. She glowed that night, basking in attention, until the screen lit up behind her. At first it was nostalgia. Photos of us, vacations, smiles that once meant something. Then it shifted. Screenshots. Texts. Her words. His replies. A receipt for that same perfume. A GPS ping from one night she claimed to be at work. The silence that followed was symphonic. Her face dropped. Her mascara cracked. Her body stilled. I raised my glass in a toast, cool, calm, collected, and left before the fallout began. In the days that followed, her life crumbled in pieces. Friends distanced themselves. Her interior design firm let her go after reviewing her company laptop. He blocked her. I answered one of her calls, just one. I made a mistake, she whispered. No, I said. You made a choice. Click. A week later, she stood at my new front door. The Malibu sun behind her painted her in gold, but it didn't reach her eyes. She looked smaller somehow. This place, she whispered, trying to reclaim her ground. It's his, right? I stepped aside just enough for her to see the framed title deed hanging in the hallway. My name. Not his. Her lips parted, but no words came. That was the moment it hit her. I was never the fool she thought I was. I was never weak. Just quiet. Methodical. Precise. I don't hate her. I'm not even angry anymore. I just stopped giving warnings. People like her treat love like currency. Something to invest when it's valuable. Something to abandon when the market dips. But I'm not currency. I'm a storm. And she never learned to read the sky. The best revenge isn't rage. It's absence. I gave her a front row seat to everything she threw away. No shouting. No slammed doors. Just silence, sharp, heavy, final. Now I live in the house she once used to flaunt. I sleep peacefully. Alone. Free. She lives in whispers. Regret echoes louder than anger ever could. And me? I still clean houses. Only now I clean my own. And it's spotless.